Okay. This is Prophet Raw and I will be you. And this is Controversies Part 2. That's what it's supposed to be. Controversies Part 2. Earlier today, I was speaking on controversies. And today, this evening, I was just sitting back and I was thinking about Craig Mack. And so I happened upon one of the videos that a young lady did. She did a really nice job. I have the link to her video in the description. And that is the audio that I will be playing in your hearing. And I like the reporting that she did on the video and the clips that she had. It was really interesting because it made me hearken back to what I said earlier today about controversies. A lot of us that are coming to the Lord, a lot of us are coming to, or God or the Most High, whatever you want to say. A lot of us are coming to the Most High. But what's really happening is we're coming to man in the name of the Most High without even looking for the Most High. That's what's going on. So a lot of people think that when they come to a church or they come to an assembly of believers, they think they're coming to the Most High, but they have deceived themselves. What they're really looking for is direction in life. And oftentimes when people are looking for direction in life because they don't know who the Most High is, they will latch that idea onto the first person that they run into. It's like in those cartoons where you see the baby chicken or the baby bird, the baby chick, or a baby duck, and the first person that the duck sees, he says is his mother. Well, that's how a lot of us are in Christendom, in Hebrew Israelites, Catholic, Baptist, Pentecostal. That's how we are. And this doesn't mean that we don't study the Bible. This doesn't mean that we don't study Torah. But our desire to follow frail, fallible human beings is way people that are Christians and Hebrew Israelites and other, even in pagan religions. It's the same thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play some of this audio because I don't want to keep you all. And I want to play this clip for you. And let me say this about Craig Mack. Craig Mack was just a lost soul. No doubt he probably was looking to kill. But instead of killing a black person, he started calling this God and looking at this white man as a God figure. Man, you talk about jumping out the fire into the frying pan into the fire. So instead of killing a black person, which would been put you in the pan, you say, all right, okay, scratch that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to worship a white man as God, as a God figure in my life. Wow. And guess who? And the guy who was a God figure, he was a burglar, a thief, liar, and a false prophet. He was. So instead of Craig Mack killing a black person, which is bad. His solution for that was following a white man who said he's a prophet, who was a pedophile and a thief. This lets me know that Craig Mack was just lost. He may have really been looking for the Most High, but he was just lost. Pedophile and a rapist, and on top of that, the meant to be a prophet. This happens a lot of times, y'all. When you have grown men, when you have grown men who don't have father figures, who serve the Most High. Yeah, remember that. Serve the Most High, not just a father figure, but a father figure that serves the Most High. Now you calling every white man you see a God figure in your life. Let's continue on. The guy named Alvin is Craig Mack's best to this compound where this rapist is. He's looking at as his God figure and a prophet. I'm not saying the guy wasn't a prophet. The guy was a prophet. He was a false prophet. And Craig Mack got tied up into this guy. Just like most black people get tied up into the Baptist church, Pentecostal church, Lutheran church, Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah wickedness, all of them. The same way we get wrapped up. Hebrew Israelites. Yeah, put Hebrew Israelites in there too. I'm going to tell you something. All these entertainers, rappers, actors, y'all, I really don't see any really stellar examples of humanity in none of these people. The vast majority of them. I don't care if they singers, dancers, rappers, hip hop, rock and roll, country, gospel. I don't really see a whole lot of stellar examples of how a person is supposed to be living life. I don't see. Now I know you got your hip hop heads out there and y'all gonna die for hip hop. But you know what I'm gonna die for? I want to die for the same thing I'm gonna live for, the Most High. I could care less about hip hop, rap, and all this other stuff, R&B, funk. I could care less. So Craig Mack said if he would have stayed in hip hop in New York, he said he would have been dead too. You see this? You heard Craig said what people who say they love the Most High say. Now, Craig Mack is for all intents and purposes and principles, he's just a heathen. He's just a heathen. He's a Gentile. But the first time he heard this white guy on the radio, that he said, you see that, y'all? This is how black people get into trouble. I knew that it was God talking to me because of the way it made me feel emotionally. No scriptures, no experience with this man. He just heard him on the radio. He never met him. And because it's a white voice, guess what he says? Oh, it's the voice of God. Y'all, this is how black people think. And I'm going to tell you something. Black people get real upset when you ask them for proof of something that they feel only. Oh, they get pissed. They get ticked off. I was listening to a guy just the other day who had been listening to my channel that calls himself a prophet. And he was complaining. Now, this is a prophet. He was complaining about how many scriptures I show. All these scriptures. He actually said that. All these scriptures not necessary. Yeah, the reason why all those scriptures not necessary because you can't light a candle to them with the evidences that I'm bringing out. And so what you're doing is playing on people's emotions as a prophet, as a false prophet. Yeah, all those scriptures not necessary. All those scriptures not necessary. And you know what? I've heard several people tell me this lately. And I've listened to this guy study. It ain't no real like Bible study where you're learning stuff and hearing stuff it ain't nothing real. It's just stuff that they read or they think about or stuff that happened to them as a child and they just regurgitate it. They ain't got nothing real. They're not bringing forth things both, but they're going to criticize you for doing it. See, y'all, these people need to check themselves. Now, look what Craig Mack, because the guy was white. How do I know that? Because black people voted for Obama just because he was black. Now you say, well, how do those two things go together? Most black people believe God is white. So the only reason why I believe that God spoke to them is if it come from a white voice. And I'm sure when Craig Mack saw this guy, he really thought he was looking at God because the guy is white with all white gray. That's just how black people are. We into our emotions. So when a black person tells me, well, I studied to show myself approved unto God, I just roll my eyes a little bit. I'm like, okay. Because what that really means in black talk is that I study my feelings to see if God is approved of my feelings. And if he is, then I go with it. Just emotions, y'all. That's all it is. Pure estrogen and testosterone. And mostly estrogen, even in the men. Listen to this testimony. He found salvation he was looking for from a white man. This is how black people love to get down. And don't get me wrong, black people will find salvation in wicked white leaders as well. They will. They will do that. We have historically done that. As Israelites, as Americans, as Haitians, as Puerto Ricans, as everything, we will do this. This is not something to get mad at me, y'all. This is something that we need to repent of and really gut check ourselves on. All these white people in here, and Craig Mack is in here. Lord have mercy. He probably really felt like he was in heaven. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, a lot of us are born with a coon spirit. I'm telling you. Remember, Alvin is Craig Mack's best friend. Now, you got to really hone in on what she's going to say about this Alvin character, because he saw some things that were going wrong when he went to visit Craig Mack at this little cult. And black people. Well, you with a white person, so you're in good hands. You with Jim Jones, so I know I don't have anything to worry about. You're in the hands of God. But listen to what she says. It took a white guy to come and tell Craig Mack's best friend that the place was a cult. My goodness. Can we do anything without white people? Do they have to be the Holy Spirit for us? We can't even tell nothing wrong unless white daddy and white mommy say something. Oh my God. But we always praying and wearing crosses and all this stupid stuff. God. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of our people not going to believe that they're really Israelites unless white people step up, make videos on YouTube and tell them. They're not going to believe nobody black. They're only going to believe white mommy and white daddy. I'm almost finished. Now, this Alvin guy is saying it's ways that Craig God besides joining this cult. This guy couldn't even cult. It took a white guy to let him know that it was a cult. And this guy probably ain't even in no church. So, and even if he in a church, it don't matter. He don't have no spiritual discernment. Y'all hear this? Criminal sexual misconduct. Now, this is the guy that Craig Mack picks. Instead of choosing to kill another black person while he was listening to the radio, this guy caught his ear on the radio And he said, you know what? I'm going to follow this guy as a God figure. And listen to his record. Lord have mercy. Listen to this, y'all. Here is a pastor prophet who rapes children in the same that he delivers his weak sermons that go all over the world. This is the guy that Craig Mack's emotions tugged on his heart to follow. Craig Mack was just lost, y'all. I'm not condemning him. He was just lost. He picked the devil to be his pastor. And see how the system caped for him? They gave him a plea for a lesser charge. Why? Because he's old and white and looks like God. He's white people's version of God and Moses and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to give him a pass. The whole system protected him. Now listen to this. When Alvin confronted Craig Mack about this pastor, look what Craig Mack said. This is how you know black people have a coon spirit. We really don't love black people. We don't even love justice. Whether it's black or we don't even love justice. We love white daddy and white mommy a whole lot. And this is where the controversy aspect of this comes in. The guy confronts him with this information about this pastor, and look what Craig Mack says. You see that? That's how black people think. That's how black people think. That's how a lot of black people think if they get up under a one. And when Craig Mack says Jesus, he means white Jesus. It's bad, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something. Not a whole lot changes in people's coon spirit, black people's spirit, when they find out that the Messiah is black. Not a whole not lot. The same principles are there. They just put a black face on it. That's it. I could sniff these people out a mile away. I watch their language. I watch the words that they use. I watch things that I watch and I make a note of. I don't, and I review the list. So basically, I just wanted to review this very quickly, and I wanted how I'm I understand it, y'all. I'm confounded about how and why so many people who say they love the Most High, they always pick wicked people to follow. I didn't say perfect people. I didn't say imperfect people. They pick straight up wicked people to follow. Church. They follow the popes, y'all. Men who say that they are the vicars of the Most High in the earth. At least 1 billion Catholics are in the world. People love following wicked people. They just do. And if they like doing that in the Catholic Church, they like doing that as Hebrew Israelites. You don't think that they like doing that as Christians? You don't think that they like doing that as Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus? You don't think that? Well, you must be living on a whole nother planet. People love following wicked people. They love siding with wicked people, arguing for wicked people, caping for wicked people. They just love doing it. And I think one of the most successful ways to defend yourself against this type of wickedness is not being a part of it. And by seeking after holiness. I think a reason why a lot of these people, they have this strong propensity to do that is because guess what? They're not holy. They really don't seek it. They got forms of it. Because I don't understand why people argue so vehemently for wicked people and they say they're righteous. And you can't convince them of nothing else. And to tell them that straight up that they wicked is an insult to them. So you can't even really deal with them because their mind just shut down. You can't even tell them that they're wicked on this point because they'll get into their feelings. Because that's what type and generally these type of individuals, they always in their feelings. You can't even talk to them. You can't be real. You can't be honest with them. You can't be straight up. You can't. Because they're going to run into their feelings. Like it's the Bat Cave. But anyway, this is Prophet Robert and I would be. I didn't want to be on here long. It's unfortunate what has happened to Craig Mack. I mean, he went from one false religion, which is hip hop. Then he went into Christianity, worshiping a white man. And then he's dead. It's just so sad. It's just sad, y'all. What's happening to our people? But may the Most High be merciful to his soul. I don't know what peace he made with the Most High or not. I don't know. That's not my business. But my heart really goes out to this type of thing. It really do. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here, get some sleep. You all take it easy. Shalom.